According to YouTube, we are live. Okay, welcome back once again to another Tuesday night of HOBO Racing Cup action. It's the recurring Tuesday night Cup series for race number 25, I do believe. And we have gone to Corn Country. We're at Iowa Speedway. For tonight's event, I do believe 125 laps is what we're looking at, and indeed that is the case. Pretty unique track. You can almost think of it like, at least as far as how I feel like it drives, kind of a higher banked Richmond. Of course, Richmond, we were just there a couple weeks ago, and we'll be going back there in a couple weeks' time. Perfect time for a text message, but yeah, this could be a race of just about anything. I don't know what to expect out of this one. All I do know is that we are looking at some very high tire wear, very likely, as far as when these guys are going to have to pit. It looks like they're probably going to be about 35 laps-ish with the tires. The fuel window will probably be a bit longer than that. So how that'll play into this is going to be interesting, as well as how many cautions there could be. We thought there were going to be a bunch of cautions at Indianapolis. That ended up not being the case. We'll see if Iowa's going to be also subverting expectations. But either way, I've got right-hand man over here to help me call this thing, and it's just me and him for this one. But Trey Wright up here in the booth with me again, and definitely haven't had you up here in the booth enough this season, but thank you for hopping on board. It's awesome to have you.
Well, thanks for having me on here, and glad to be, like you said, getting ready to get things kicked off here in Corn Country, a beautiful racetrack here in the middle of Jasper County in Newton, Iowa, as qualifying has wrapped up here. Like you said, Iowa, it's certainly one of the most interesting tracks that we go to here on the Hobo Racing League. Did a race for the Fuel Racing League last week. Funny enough, our normal color guy Zach Rogers won that race, the season finale for Fuel last week. That was then, this is now. That was a fantastic race. We're going to see something similar. Like you said, a lot of high tire wear here at Iowa. Going to see these guys make potentially 2 or 3 pit stops, maybe even 4 pit stops, given on how severe the tire wear is going to be. But like you said, glad to be on here and glad to be watching these guys ripping around the medium banks here of the Iowa Speedway. Set to be a fantastic race here this afternoon.
I'm looking forward to it. Of course, looking forward to, like I said, having you in the co-host seat once again. And shout out to Lifelike there in the chat already. Shout out to everyone who's already tuning in. We got another big field here. 25 drivers ready to make it happen here at Iowa. And wouldn't you believe it, Caleb Lingle is not on pole. It's Keith McLean with the pole position. Mac Daddy, that will be, I believe, pole number 6, I think. 6 or 7. Again, it's been pretty much him, Herman Reese, and of course Caleb Lingle with 11 poles this season.
Pole number 6, correct, by the way.
For number 6. Oh, thank you. Yep, you got the standings open there. Appreciate you there. So yep, Keith McLean on pole with Herman Reese in second, and Caleb Lingle with an abysmal, for his standards, qualifying in 3rd place. I say that with every bit of sarcasm imaginable. With an average starting position of the season of 2.4, I think that's very, very telling of how that 113 can happen. Steve Grant
is.
Yeah, Steve Grant, Mark DeSenza are the top 5. We'll see if Mark's internet will hold up for him. Riley King, Ken Hansen, Harry Kodian, tonight's race sponsor and in-race reporter in the 13, is starting in 8th. And then Steve Rubino with a great qualifying effort there in 9th. Ricky Bumbalo will start in 10th. Also going out there tonight to do battle will be Jason San Diego, Eddie Rayleigh, Fugate, Stacanus, Jeff Stacanus, that is. Maverick back out here. Duke Sorensen, Ryan Johnson, Dan Rubino, Troy Donahue, and Irv Johnston all took lap times. 3-time winner of the last 3 races here, KJ Killajoule starting 21st. HB Hardy's out here, Randy Smith, Ron Simpson, and Monty Keller all set to take the green flag here. as we've mentioned, in corn country. Um, Trey, I know you're looking forward to this one, and you kind of got some stuff that you're testing out. I'll let you have the floor here for a moment because I know that you're kind of getting your NR streaming stuff started off on in a big way here.
Yeah, certainly am. Got the North American Sim Racing Network entering our third year here in the next couple of months here shortly. But yeah, glad to be on here and trying to spread the word, trying to build my brand here a little bit. Like we said, doing the Fuel Racing League, got their Sportsman Series kicked off. If you want to join that, go ahead and join their Discord. Could potentially put something out on my social media as well. But overall, if anybody is interested, got a new graphics package that I'm testing here tonight by myself. If you want to see that live, that'll be live this Friday night over on the North American Sim Racing Network when the Fuel Racing League Sportsman Series will take on the high banks of the Augusta Speedway, a fictional track created by Apollo Hyde. But of course, had that good race at Iowa last week for the Fuel Racing League, and a lot of guys in here set to be atop on the pylon, trying to get the job done here with about 40 seconds to go in happy hour. Gonna be a fun race. I think it's certainly gonna be a fun race here. Again, the preferred line at the Iowa Speedway is a lot like just trying to find the perfect diamond, or just trying to make the perfect diamond. It creates a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of pressure involved with trying to find it, and it's just a time-consuming process. But once you finally do find that, it is like a gift from God, and that's what it is, just trying to find the perfect line here. Going to see these guys trying to look for all sorts of grip here on this track. Of course, with tire wear being a factor, and with the large field size, I have a very exciting race here. That is going to be no doubt about that, Andrew.
Oh, amen to that. And yeah, definitely going to give Trey some love over there at North American Sim Racing Network. You said, did I have that
Yep.
right? Right
Yep.
on.
The NASRN. Not
I
only
love it.
for offline stuff anymore, thank goodness.
We're about to get this party started here. I'm going to briefly check in with our in-race reporter before we get to some live pictures here. Harry, Cody, and you are live on YouTube, my friend. First off, thank you for sponsoring this race, and you've been giving us some insight pre-race. We're just about to kick it to the race session here. Any hopes, expectations that you got for tonight?
Yeah, I'm not real good. My car's stable but slow. I'm hoping to just stay out of trouble and get a decent finish.
Totally fair, man, and just keeping those tires under you. You said tire wear is looking like it's going to be pretty high for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if anybody could make it, 35 laps.
Good to know on that one. Well, best of luck, man, starting from the 8th position. Hopefully that'll convert to a good result for you. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on.
Okay, thank you, guys.
And there is the North American Sim Racing Network there in the chat. Go give that a subscription and show my man Trey some love, and we'll try to get them guys off the ground and getting into some bigger things. Trey, and to everyone who continues to stream NR2003 content, thank you for what you do, and to all the admins that continue to put on these leagues, thank you for what you do for keeping this game going. As 2026 will, of course, mark 23 years for this amazing game.
Field rolling off, getting ready for a good race here tonight.
2873 up here on the front row. Herman Reese, one of two four-time winners this season, along with KJ. KJ, of course, getting all but one of those wins in the last three races. Won a little bit earlier on in Michigan, and then got the 3 in a row at Richmond, Dover, and last week at Indianapolis. These guys will also be pitting heading into turn number 3, so bear that in mind. Keith McLean with 3 wins on the season, looking to join that club up there of elites. Heck, he is one of the elites at this point. when you're up here with a win in this series. But green flag in the air at Iowa Speedway. And here we go for 125 laps. Hold on to your husks. Coming at you there at full speed there into turn number 1. As Keith manages to hold on to the lead. Everybody's trying to get a little bit strung out here and finding their line, finding that diamond, as you mentioned, Trey. Especially turn 1 and 2, I think is going to be very, very difficult to try to master that. Just finding that right line and the right grip. Ryan Johnson's finding a little bit of that on the outside, trying to work his way forward. Starting further back, but he wasn't clear of the 23. He's going to spin it around. Boy.
The yellow flag will fly here for the first time tonight. And like you said, a little bit of a self-clear there out of the 78 by the looks of it. Ryan Johnson, who's up there on the top 5 in points. A little bit of an early setback there for the 78 car.
Yeah, unfortunately so. I know Ryan Johnson, he's not one to hot lap and qualify deep despite taking a lap time. And hey, he knows his way forward. He knows how to do it, but unfortunately, early in the going, he's going to find some trouble here racing with Duke Sorensen and the 23 of Maverick. And yeah, that was Maverick trying to come up. And unfortunately, was not quite clear. And unfortunately, pulled the Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Darlington deal there. We'll get one more look at this here. Some helicopter. We don't do helicopter cam very often.
Yeah. Just like it looked like pretty much from my vantage point, just a simple racing deal. Maverick going up, Johnson going down. There didn't look like there's a whole lot of room for Ryan Johnson anyway. So I think he was bouncing off of the wall and just got pinched there by Maverick right on the left quarter panel, and nothing that Ryan could do except that you're in a spin, lock it down, and pray you don't go upside down there. Pretty good save, only 1 or 2 spins there at a 78 and not getting run over by anybody else. Good job there out of that driver of that B-Dubs Camaro.
Love that scheme. Love it so much. Flat tire, of course, the worst of the damage there, which won't affect him in the long run. Just going to have a little more track position to try to make up here, but got a lot of time to do it. If you're going to have a moment like that, this is the time to do it. Keith McLean, of course, was on pole and still holding on to the race lead ahead of the 73, 113, 11, and 33. No changes up here in the top 5. Ricky Bumbalo from 10th to 7th, though, with a good few positions gained there in that 85. I'd watch for him to, as long as he can keep that car pointed straight, looking to possibly get a top 10 here. 13:07 and 22. Jason San Diego in 10th. I also heard a little birdie tell me that he might be one to watch out for in this race. As,
Certainly is. Was
Magoo
running
in the chat there.
Yeah, was running up towards the top at Chicagoland last time I was on here. Do want to point out that about a third or about a quarter of the field did come down the pit lane. They were led down by Wiley King. And I'm trying to see who else came down. I believe KJ may have came down. Same thing, of course, Ryan Johnson came down. Monte Keller came down the pit lane as well, I believe. Same thing with in the 112 car, or Earl Rayleigh. So did have some takers come down here after 4 laps ran, but most of this field stayed out, including top 2 right at the front, led there by Mac Daddy Keith McLean there in that 28 machine, that Gray Ghost.
Gray Ghost, that got him a excellent result at Indianapolis. Been having some bad luck when he was running the Davey Allison colors, so he said, you know what, let's switch it up. Let's go back to our Gray Ghost, and I think that maybe bringing him some good luck. Of course, really early to say here. Lights are out on the pace car. Everyone's kind of get in line here. But yep, Eddie Rayleigh came down the pit lane. I saw HB Hardy was definitely down. I think those guys just stopped for the top off with fuel, keep the tires as fresh as possible, and then just log some laps as much as possible early in the going here on a track that, as the run goes, the handling will start to go away on these cars. Coming back around, take lap 8, and green flag is going to fly once again. Top 3 looking very solid through there. Ooh, Herman, little checkup there. Caleb thought about it. Not quite enough of a run there for that 113. Going to file back in line. Looks like it's going to be the case for most of these guys. Oof, see him sliding off of turn 4 there a little bit. Bungalow getting a little bit sideways. Herman Reese also slightly sideways there, but all in all, looks like he's just trying to manage his pace, as we all know him to do. We'll see if that can get him win number 5 tonight for the Badillac.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see a lot of these guys run very loose setups, like we said at the top of the show. Like you said, they're sliding the back ends all the way around. Like there's some DMs there, especially through turns 1 and 2, and you can really see it off turns 3 and 4. But overall, again, loose is fast. If you've seen Days of Thunder, which I think pretty much everybody should see Days of Thunder if you're a NASCAR fan. But again, loose is fast, like they say, and at a flat-ish track like Iowa, these guys are going to be ripping all the way around here. And overall, just trying to get nice and through here for all these guys. But overall, would not be surprised if we see a couple of cars potentially go sideways here, especially the more that these Goodyear Eagles begin to wear out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, agreed on that one. And that was an amazing pun there with the DMs. Very well done, good sir. Oh, that was too good. Top 3 getting a little bit spread out here. Everyone running about half a second off of their pole times, or their qualifying times. And I imagine that will be the case here throughout most of this run. Again, I imagine that the tires are going to be given out before the fuel will be, just based on what we've been told. Courtesy mainly of Harry, but I think that was the general consensus. How about Steve Rubino up here in 8th? Look at that there for the 07. Good to see the head admin here of running very, very well. He's actually able to get by Harry Kodian there. And Fugate just got up into the top 10 there in that number 9. A driver that I think also is due for a very, very good result. It's still really spread out. You go back to KJ, and there's Ryan Johnson. Those two are going to be trying to make up some ground. 15th and 16th respectively at the moment. HB Hardy and 18th, or scored 18th that last time. And now he's going to try to get underneath the 49. And we'll make that pass. I saw smoke.
Oh, that was close. 25 of Ron Simpson clipping the apron down there.
If that
he was able to gather it back up and going. That was very, very close there, and that nearly brought out our second caution of the day.
Yeah, I saw a puff of smoke in turn 1. Anytime you see a puff of smoke, you just got to assume, oops, something just transpired, and it's always the white smoke. Obviously, if you see gray smoke, then something else has gone totally awry, as happened to Ryan Johnson last week in Indianapolis. That's twice that, just by having the camera on Ryan Johnson, something bad has happened to him in the last 2 races, so maybe I shouldn't have the camera on him at all.
Yeah, no paparazzi, I guess.
No. I guess he's not a fan of Lady Gaga, but, oh, that was terrible.
Oh, Lord.
What's not terrible
Don't quit your day job, Andrew, jeez.
No, I think I'm going to be sticking to this for a while. Steve Grant and Mark DeSenza is pretty close together here, running 4th and 5th. Steve Grant, we keep calling him King Consistency, and that's because with only the 1 win, he remains 2nd in points, 197 points back of Herman Reese, and I'm wanting to say in the realm of about 120 ahead of 3rd. So he just always finds a way to just keep it consistent, and he's doing an amazing job of it. He's running 4th right now, and yeah, top running team Speedland guy, and he's been carrying that number 11 beautifully all season long. I just know that he would love to get another W. Mark DeSenza running 5th. And we always hype up how bad his luck has been this season. I believe he has the 1 podium finish. He has another top 5 somewhere else, I think. Other than that, it's either been internet problems or crashes. No other luck has fallen for this 33 in a car that I think is very capable of winning a race or two before this season is done. And I will be shocked if he does not manage to pull that off. We're running 5th right now. Still a long way to go, like I said, but running very, very well. Ken Hansen running a very quiet 6th. Steve Rubino up to 7th. And actually got by the 85, so this track seems to be suiting the Maxwell House 07 so far.
Certainly has. Again, I want to go back to Steve Grant there for a brief moment. You know, talking about, you know, he's got a 197-point gap underneath of Herman Reese. You know, we do have the chase coming up, and we got the yellow flag coming out here on the speedway. Someone has gone around, and Jason San Diego off of turn 2.
Oh, man.
And I believe he just got a tow back. I'm not sure what happened. Nope, he has left the server.
Oh, goodness gracious. I see why. Oh, this is ugly. We're going to show you the replay on this one. Hold on to your hats. It gets nasty. See you later.
Goodness.
Oh, and that
Good
was all.
Lord.
That was all with the checkup. After Duke Sorensen started to get loose, San Diego checked up. KJ was right there behind him, and they just stacked up. And NR Physics said, "Ping, see you later, 22," off of the 029's bumper and sent him for a wild tumble.
Yeah, that is probably one of the most NR Online crashes we've seen. You know, just and hit right in the right spot, and that just launches that 22 car up into the catch fence. You know, made a Stingray Rob joke about Keith Hughes flipping here last week in fuel, and same exact thing happened with San Diego, where you just net coding at the wrong time and then just whammo hard into the catch fence. Fortunately, catch fence, in fact, did its job, kept him in the ballpark, but our driver to look for and our driver to watch out for here this afternoon, out after only 22 laps, and that was, yikes. That was not a good accident whatsoever, Andrew.
No, yeah, that announcer's jinx probably got him. But I will also be curious to see if anything may have transpired with the 029 and the 78. They both kind of went up and may have gotten into the wall. Couldn't quite tell from the angle that we were looking at, but I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be anything too catastrophic, but KJ is going to drop back quite a ways. Ryan Johnson, after making up track position, a little bit of track position, is going to lose a bit of it as well. And oh my goodness, we've done it again. We have jinxed Mark DeSenza. Speeding penalty.
Oh, good Lord.
Goodness gracious. Still going to be over 100 laps to go, though, so still got plenty of time. Wiley King gets a lap led there, and he's going to come out to the back of the field here. Randy Smith has yet to pit. He likes to do this. Yeah, I've noticed Randy Smith has probably one of the higher tendencies out of anyone else to get some extra laps led out there. Will sometimes even take the green flag without pitting. He's trying
That
to go
might actually
totally
be a
off
strategy
sequence
here. He didn't come out this time around. I think we might be getting the one to go here this time around.
It's very, very likely. Let's see.
Yep.
And yeah, we do. So Randy Smith will be current race leader in the number 10. It's going to be on old tires, though. Of course, he pitted under that first caution, so those tires really aren't that old. They're going to be about probably 15 green flag laps on those things, give or take. Still I think in this race that's going to be enough of a difference.
Oh yeah, still. I mean, you got everybody on Fresh Eagles right behind you, except that 10. Randy is gonna be a minnow in a pond full of sharks on this restart.
You're not kidding. Watch for that Pontiac, but who knows? Quick caution could save the day for him. We'll find out. 100 laps to go, coming in 99. And hey, Randy Smith, solid driver in his own right, and has a decent amount of top tens that he's been able to sneak out of this thing. So we'll see how it'll transpire for him on this restart with Mac Daddy behind him. Getting the field already up to speed here, and it looks like he's actually going to take the courteous way out and just drop to the back. That will give the lead back to the 28. 73, 113, 11, and 94 are now your top 5. Steve Grant all over the back of Caleb Lingle there. Otherwise, mostly unchanged here. Of course, aside from Mark Cosenza getting that speeding penalty, dropping him way to the tail. And now he's going to try to work his way forward already. Looking to make some moves. Getting underneath the 49. Now behind the 81, Troy Donahue. Ron Simpson is up in front of him. And of course, KJ, Ryan Johnson, all going to be trying to make up ground. HB Hardy has now found himself into the top 10 in the 03. Props to HB there, moving up, running again another tribute card to both Dale Earnhardt and his late father Danny. Always got to root for HB anytime I see him out here.
Definitely do, but I want to go back to Mark Desetza there for a brief moment. We talked about how costly of a mistake that was, especially right on these restarts, and after these restarts where, you're not able to really pass here at Iowa, especially on that inside lane. It's a very hard track to pass at, similar to Richmond, like we said. So Desetza is going to have, again, we still got south of about 100 laps to go, but still north of 90. So there's still plenty of time for him to get back up there. But on these long green flag runs, like we saw, about 20 laps of green flag racing there, he might, I don't know, it's going to be very hard for him to crack this top 10 once again, but it's got his work cut out for him. We saw it a couple of times. We'll see what he's able to do. But again, like we said, a very, very costly penalty, and he's got to dig himself out of that hole. We'll see what that Wrangler machine can do.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him, but yeah, this is not an easy track to make up ground on. Just pure speed and merit alone. You gotta hope for some strategy to fall your way. But Keith has checked out. Goodness, he is gone from everybody else. Herman Reese and Caleb Lingle a good ways back there. There's Steve Grant in P4. He had the top 5. But look who's knocking on his door is Steve Rubino up in 6th and starting to close on Ken Hansen there, quite impressively so. Cody in 7th. Hugh Gates, Jeff Stakanis, and HB Hardy. The current top 10 runners. That 31 has yet to finish any race this season in positions 6 through 10. Hopefully that streak continues, but just in the upward direction of the top 5 variety. It's just always a funny little stat that I always have to throw out there, just because I can't think of too many times that I've seen anything like that happen.
Looking at the numbers on the pylon this time around, and McLean has just been opening up his gap every single lap over Herman Reese. Now, that last time by, he opened it up by 1/10 of a second, but over these last 5 laps, Keith McLean has gone from about a 2nd and a 10th in front out of Herman Reese to this last time by a 2nd and a 3/4, and now he's a 2nd and 8/10 away from that 73 car. So he's certainly opening himself up, and I think these two guys are definitely on opposite tire strategies. I think McLean is seeing how far he can go when he runs flat out in the 28, and I think Reese playing very conservatively in that Cadillac, just trying to see how much he can baby the throttle, when he can punch in and out, as Reese then gained a 10th of a second on the 28th this last time around. So it's interesting to see the differing strategies that everybody in this field is on right now, especially these top two guys that have been towards the front end of the field in pretty much almost every race that we've seen so far this season. But it's something to keep an eye on. McLean running some qualifying laps by the looks of it right now, and Reese being very conservative. That time around, he lost another 10th of a second to the 28 car, the 73 did. So something that we'll have to keep some tabs on here over this next next tire run here.
We'll see if this strategy works out for Keith. Just opening the gap and then maybe just trying to rail her back. Plus, I know Keith. He tends to also run much looser setups, so could actually play into his favor as far as getting the car to rotate on a long run. Just gained another 10th there. Caleb Lingle kind of on his own right now in P3. Steve Grant, and then closest battle right now looks like it's going to be 5th, 6th, 7th between the 94, 07, and 13. A little bit of battle going on back here. HB Hardy getting by Fugate there. I believe just Kennis did the same thing. So 31 and 03 now moving up a couple of positions respectively. Checking in on Ryan Johnson and KJ. They're running 12th and 13th. So some ground made up there. Oh no! Descenza is in the infield.
What the heck happened there?
Are you telling me that he just spun out and found the opening in the wall? I got nothing on that one. Caution is out.
Oh,
Wasn't
Lord.
sure if the caution was going to come out for that, but it did. That is not something that I was expecting to see tonight.
Well, it was a two-car incident off of turn number 2. Yeah, it looks like
Keller
got loose out of the corner. He was sideways through 2, and Descent's bad luck continued, overcorrected it, and unfortunately found that wide gap right in the infield. Fortunately, no medical personnel or fire trucks were parked there, so didn't have a quote-unquote tow car moment where we got to get out the tarps or anything like that, but golly, we mentioned how good of a run he was having, had the speeding penalty. We mentioned him again. He ends up in the infield. I'm trying to remember was it Randy LaJoy that ended up in the infield in Daytona that day? Or no, it was Jeff Bodine who ended up in the infield that one Daytona race. And maybe we'll stop talking about Mark, and maybe he'll move him inside the top 10, but that is just very, very unfortunate.
Oh man, that was not on my bingo card. Yeah, it looks like a lot of these guys are trying to get by Randy Smith, which I was going to point out, man. You see those tires just are not good when you stay out like that. Monty Keller checks up a little bit, gets a little loose, and goes for quite a spin there in his own right. I think he just barely got missed by Ron Simpson. And then, just in avoiding action, Mark Descenza overcorrected, spun it around, and I'm with you. He is very, very fortunate that there were no personnel down there. But at the same time, very fortunate that wall was not there. And no harm, no foul, no damage for the 33. Just another moment of serious, probably, for him. As a shout out to some CCR guys, Tower and Francis. Appreciate you both. Appreciate everyone tuning in here this evening. Grant, I think, either just stayed out for a lady lap, or
he took 2 tires.
Okay, I'm guessing that was probably not on purpose, based on the fact that he's going back in again.
Yeah, I think that's going to be unfortunate there for Grant, as he slid through his pit box a little bit there on that 11 car, and I think I don't know if he maybe mispressed something. Nothing in the chat so far, but I think we're just a commentator's curse here tonight, because we're talking about how consistent Grant has been this season. Now he's got an issue on the pits. He's going to have to hurry up and get to the end of this line here before the green flag here in the next couple moments. But no, Grant took 2 tires again. Took only left sides. So
Yeah, my only guess is that he may have slid in his box or gotten too close to the wall. That is my only guess. Because I know Steve, I don't think that he would be making a call like that while he was running in the top 5. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to be coming around to take 80 laps to go. Top 3 remain the same. Steve Rubino now to P4. And a run of the season so far for this 07. I shouldn't be saying that out loud because we've literally jinxed everybody so far that we've talked about. Getting back going here, Mac Daddy on the throttle. And with 80 laps to go, we are back to racing. He's opening up a couple car lengths here. Herman Reese with a mirror full of the 113. 113 backs out of that slightly. Ken Hansen up in the top 5 as well now. It's again another driver that could be pretty dangerous here in this race. Would be Hansen. Jeff Stakanis, Harry Kodian, HB Hardy up to P8. And then you got Ricky Bumbalo and Fugate round out the top 10. Ryan Johnson and KJ are 11th and 12th. Keep an eye on those two then. Ooh, is KJ's actually going to make the move for that 11th position. Gonna clear, just barely. Wah. I think Ryan may have given him some grace on that one.
he definitely did. He lost a lot of momentum there as Eddie Riley. Oh, he got in the outside wall. That might be the move that Rayleigh might take down to the inside of this 78. Yeah, but it was a good thing that Johnson let off there because KJ, a little bit of a self-clear off there off of the corner, and that would have created a big stack up towards the tail end of the field there with all these guys bunched up right off of the restart. Fortunately, Johnson was able to drag the bike there off the corner.
Oh, he's still sliding.
Hang on to it, buddy. Hang on to it.
Somehow did, but he's going to lose a few spots, but that is irrelevant. The fact that he just held on to that car is a miracle in its own right. Oh, as he barely gets clear off the 31. And the same is going to happen with the hard battle here between HB Hardy and Harry Cody, and HB up a spot. But goodness gracious, Caleb Lingle with a heart in the throat moment. Oh, and HB just had one himself. Keep it off the wall.
Loose sit-ups and tire wear, they go together like oil and water, and on this run especially, they are not mixing together well. That's twice now we've seen cars get up into the marbles and just a little bit out of shape there. But that save at a angle, that might be one of the greatest saves that I have seen here as the yellow flag is back out.
I think some of these guys are probably thinking, they're pretty happy about that because they're probably like, goodness gracious, what happened to these cars? Troy Donahue.
One down the back straightaway.
Gonna be in trouble here, and looks like probably a similar deal with what we saw to the 113 and earlier the 28, or the 028, I should say. Oh wow, actually, oh yeah, it looks like he just overcooked it. Up into the gray, and see you later. A lot of front-end damage, actually, on that thing now.
Yeah, he plowed that thing right into the safer barrier. Just, looked like Danica Patrick overcorrecting at Kansas back 2012. Just trying to have the car saved, just trying to get the grip. You're jerking it over to the right, and there's finally contact and grip, but it's just, you're going the way other direction, and pow, hard into that outside wall. Nothing Donahue could really do there in that 81. He was running all the way back in 20th at the time.
His only saving grace is that he was not attempting to intent wreck Landon Castle.
World number one of stock car racing. Learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself.
Oh, close. Oh, Keith just barely beats the 73 off of pit lane there. That was close.
How about Ken Hansen getting up into, what was that, third off of the pits? He had a heck of a stop there.
That'll be big there for the 94. So that's going to put him in an excellent position. Caleb Lingo will be fourth place now. And Steve Rubino still will be top 5 as they stand. Why the King going to bring it down pit road this time? As there's Troy coming off. Steve Grant there is going to be scored, I believe, 18th or 17th, somewhere in that ballpark, as they cycle around. Mark Crescenza scored 14th the last time by there, so inching forward slowly. Sure, he would like that to be going a little bit faster because 125 laps at Iowa, and we've been getting some decent green flag runs here. So we're clicking these laps off relatively quickly. We're on lap 55, coming to lap 56, which will be 70 laps to go. So, yeah, 125 laps at this track really is not as much as you might think. And so time is going to run out in a mega hurry.
Yeah, we've only ran here for about 30 minutes in this session so far, and we're already closing in on the halfway mark, like we said. Again, these guys ripping around here. What, fastest lap in this race? 22.634 seconds.
That would
belong ripping it
to the 28, yeah.
Yeah.
And Hansen with a fan in the chat and a I guess I could call that a fan. I'm just kidding. CCR love. Yep. The boys at CCR to Ken Hansen. Well, you boys running third there. See if he can hold on to that thing. We'll see if Caleb Lingle can hold on to that car there. He's still running fourth, though. Still looking pretty solid. These top two have been pretty much unshakable so far in this race. As here we go. 69 laps to go. Very nice indeed. And right back to it. And boy, what a restart for those second and third place drivers. We're going to file back in, though, but that might be something interesting to note for later in the race if we get another restart. '28 though has been looking mighty fine, looking really, really good, keeping that thing on a rail pretty much. Herman's still just trying to save his stuff so far. Still got, if we manage to go green this entire run, this should put these guys on one more pit stop. Assuming that they're able to make the tires last long enough. It'll be a couple of long runs if they do end up going that route, but I think fuel-wise shouldn't be much of an issue. Kind of doing a quick little glance here at the field here. Here's KJ and Ryan Johnson again, 11th and 12th. They're kind of stuck there. 14th for Descenza. Bugate going to try to make a move on HB Hardy for the 9th position. A little snug off of turn 4 there, but so far so good. And Bugate backs out. Both guys hold steady.
Saw a couple of guys getting in the outside wall there off of turn number 2. It's one of the biggest corners where we've seen you guys get tight so far today, and 3 cautions of the 4 that we've had so far, all of them in turn number 2. It's officially being able to christen a calamity corner here for all the incidents we've had so far this afternoon, but overall, not as big as a Wreckfest as we thought it potentially might be with the field size and the close quarters bull ring of Iowa, but it's been a good race so far. Again, going into the witching hour, approaching the midway point through this race here after probably next time by will be the Cross Flags halfway home point. That's when the witching hour is going to really kick off, Andrew, and that's where guys are going to get desperate, especially if we get a nice long run, get green flag pit stops. That's where guys are going to roll the dice, maybe taking 2 tires or 4, and that's where things are going to get very, very interesting in the late stages of this race.
Witching hour, I think, is a great way to put it. Cautions breed cautions. Desperation breeds more desperation. And I think anything's going to be possible here in this second half. Caleb Lingo looking to try to get by Ken Hansen. Going to get to the inside here for the third position. And not quite going to be able to pull that off. Two remain side by side heading into Calamity Corner. And Caleb will clear. Steve Rubino hits the apron there. Going to cost him some momentum, but still going to be able to hold on to that fifth position. Jeff Sakane is currently sixth. Mary Kodian, who I keep forgetting I can talk to under cautions. Below HB Hardy and Fugate, currently the top 10. It's been a while since I've had an in-race reporter. I totally forget how it works sometimes.
We've also had some pretty gnarly wrecks here today. Oh, turn 2. 028 car going around.
Speaking of which,
Yellow's not out yet. Monte Keller going for a self-spin. He hit that out inside wall a ton. We stay green.
Yellow. Wow.
Yeah, that was all the way at the back end of the field, off the track.
And all tore up after he took a bit of a shot to the inside. But we keep her going. Can't see that, but hey, if no one's coming, he's off the racing surface. That's NR saying that is clear of the track. Keep her racing, boys.
Yep.
AJ looking for the 9th position there on Fugate, and we'll take that position. Ryan Johnson going to try to follow suit. Not going to be able to do so as of yet. Oh, well, I stand corrected. Give her a try. Fugate doing a good job of holding on.
Yeah, we got a big wad of cars up in here, all battling for about 8th on back. Got Kodon, Bumbelow, Hardy, KJ, Fugate, Ryan Johnson, all these guys. Mark DeSenza might be battling some sort of issue on that 33 car as he lets Steve Grant pass him there. A little bit slow on the apron there for the 33. Oh boy, he got wrecking loose out of turn 2, and he was able to save it.
I think that may have been the condition that made him say, Steve, there you go, buddy. Steve up to 13th. Also starting to work his way back forward after Fubar on pit road. AJ up to 9th. Fugate with a moment. It holds on. Ryan Johnson will take advantage. And it does not take long for the, depending on the setup, it doesn't take long for the handling to start to go away on some of these cars. Unless your name is Keith McLean, of course. He is checking out once again. 55 laps to go here.
Yeah, these long runs are good, or what's going to be in Keith McLean's favor here this evening. He opened up another 10th that last time around. We'll see if Reese is able to dive into this lead just a little bit. About the same interval between the two. The yellow flag back out here, actually. Ooh. Oh, and Rubino going around. So the 25 car through the accident scene. Heck, everybody just trying to get through, and good lord.
Man.
I can't get in a word edgewise trying to sound sophisticated without somebody wrecking through turn 2, it seems like. And, again, the commentators, Chris, talking about how these long runs are going to play into McLean's favor, and immediately somebody has an issue in turn 2. And it was Steve Ravino. Good God, that was so unfortunate.
We were hyping him up, running in the top 5, and went in turn 1 just a bit too hard there, and the back end said, no sir, I will not have any of that. And around she goes, and that's going to cut an excellent run for the 07 a little bit short, unfortunately. Here we go, everybody on pit road. This could be a big stop here. Don't know if this is going to get them into good to go to the end territory. I wouldn't imagine. Let's see who all emerges where. I'm focused in on Herman Reese at the moment. And once again, really close again between the two. Think Keith got it? No. Herman to the point.
Looked like Keith got it off the initial look.
I thought so too.
I'm not sure where the official pit line is, because based on where we're based on the yellow line, which is typically where we see that would be, to me, be the indicator of the end of pit road, and McLean definitely got it there. I don't know.
I mean, that's the only line, so I don't know what else they would be going off of. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And here's a freeze frame of it. There's Keith. He's definitely there, so interesting. Don't know what the game logic is there. All I know is we have a new leader.
Yeah.
Now what does Keith do?
Hopefully getting another long run here would be my guess.
Yeah. I am good.
Reese has really been struggling on these long runs. You know, he's really exploded off on these short runs. Hasn't been able to really try to jive for the race lead there with that 28 machine, but the longer these runs go, the way that 28 car is set up, he is set up for the long haul, and he is hoping to get another long green flag run, potentially to the end here with about just under 50 laps to go this time by.
50 to go this time here. Let's see if the lights go out. I do believe they will. And if they will, I'll go ahead and see if I can dial up Harry Cody super quickly. Actually take advantage for once. Harry, it's Andrew. Got one lap to green here. I'll just ask you real quick. Running up in 6th place. Keeping that thing in the top 10 so far. How's the car feeling?
Well, luckily we're getting the cautions falling right as I need them. Right about the point I'm starting to get a little tight and fall off. I've had a caution, so so far it's going well. Been able to hang with the guys a little bit, but I'm imagine it's going to start to get a little more aggressive here as we get down towards the end.
Yep, just keep them pointing in the right direction, man. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Running 6th. Man who is sponsoring this race in the next few. And Keith McLean finds himself in unfamiliar territory here this evening. And that is looking at someone else's bumper instead of having everyone else look at his. His green flag is back in the air. That sounded very dirty. But Badalak out in front. What can he do with this? Well, apparently he's going to take full advantage. Keith did not look like he had the car fully under him there through 1 and 2. Probably got to get this thing warmed up a little bit. But will the dirty air potentially cost him here? Only time is going to tell.
I don't know. Both these guys looking really, really good off of the restart, but I'm loving how that 28 car is coming up off of the racetrack. Like you said, he's been running on rails so far this evening. He's going to get a good run right off of the corner. Oh, he went a little bit wide.
A little bit of apron.
Just barely clipping it back down to the low side. He's going to fall into the clutches of Lingle there. Good recovery there out of Mac Daddy, and he's going to try to get back in the saddle. A couple of cars nearly getting the outside wall.
Saw that out of Hansen, goodness. But held on to it. Still running 4th. Jeff Stukanis into the top 5. Ooh, Ricky Bumbalo also sideways. Great run so far for that 85 up in 7th. But wait, that's a scary sight to see the 029 behind you. Steve Grant up into the top 10 once again. That was a good lick into the wall there for the 78. You see the side damage. See if that may impact the handle into that race car. But 45 to go. Still likely another pit stop. And Keith McLean trying to run down this 73 and try and give him a little bit of grief.
Definitely right on the back bumper of Reese. Trying to find any way he can around this 73 car. This last time by, Reese did gain a couple hundredths of a second there on the 28 machine, but he's taking some swipes on the back end of that 73 car. A little loose out of the corner, loose fast like we said. Again, once this run gets to about 20-25 laps, that's where we're going to see the biggest difference between these two cars. And I think Mac Daddy's got nothing to worry about as long as this run goes long. Going to have a good chance to potentially get around the 73 car once Reese's machine potentially fades back into the abyss.
Let's see if that is indeed the case. Keith seems like he's maybe going in just a slight bit harder into the corners, entering a little bit lower.
Yellow's
Caution
back out.
is out, and once again, Calamity Corner has struck another one. This time it appears to be Eddie Rayleigh's number 112.
A little bit of a two-parter wreck there. Rayleigh getting loose going into 1 and 2, and Dan Rubio. Yeah, Bunel. Unfortunately, finish him off there in the corner. Both those guys go around.
Yeah, not a whole lot that Dan can do in that situation, but it's going to be a lot of damage there for the 112. Two-time winner this season, both Martinsville and Talladega. Was able to get her done. And unfortunately, looks like it's not going to be the result he was looking for this evening. Everybody back on pit road once again. Now that was a number of laps that I think we may see some strategy here. Let's find out.
Like everybody's going to be taking 4 tires here for the most part. Gonna see what these 3 leaders do up front. Reese, that time he'll win the race off the pit lane.
Yeah, if Keith didn't beat him the last time, Herman definitely got him this time. We will hold on to the race lead. Top 3, once again, unchanged. If Stakanis and Ken Hansen are going to be the top 5. Kodian, Bumbalo, Grant. I believe KJ and Ryan Johnson are going to be the top 10, it looks like. Nobody stayed out. So, pretty well cut and dry there. Oh, dear. UK had some kind of an issue. He's going to be all the way at the rear. This restart.
Yeah, he parked that 9 car coming off of the pit lane. Not sure. Ooh, a little bit of a jam up there. Right at the front as everybody was trying to check up behind Randy Smith. I'm not sure if Dan Rubino's got any sort of damage, but nonetheless, yeah, Fugate, some sort of issue on the pit lane. Not sure if it was end of the longest line, maybe a speeding penalty. We'll find out shortly, but tough break for Fugate, who was fighting inside the top 10 there.
On another decent, or what would have been a somewhat needed decent run. Fugate's been just kind of, as I've said, pretty quiet, aside from his couple of wins. Got the first Texas race, and then got it at Rockingham, and since then has not made too much noise toward the front, aside from strategy calls. Of course, we all remember the craziness that was the strategy at Pocono. Yeah, dropping well back, and it's just going to come in to top off on fuel here. I mean, we are under 40 laps to go, and I feel like that would put these guys into a realm where they can make it now. They're just going to have to really conserve the heck out of these tires to not risk blowing the right front.
Yeah, these guys are going to get back going with about 39 laps to go, and they can, like you said, they can make it on fuel, but how much these guys have been abusing this rubber here this evening, just managing your tire wear, and if this race does go green, those are going to be the 2 things that we're going to have to worry about here. But I really don't see this race going green. I think we got about maybe 2 more cautions in the chamber. But, around 38 to go.
Like you said, the second half, yeah. Witching hour is upon us. Is it going to claim anyone else? Let's find out here. Herman Reese brings him back to the green with a very, very fast Keith McLean right on his tail. I still wouldn't count out this 113 yet. He's, aside from that one wiggle that he had earlier, he has been lurking all race long up here in the top 5. So I think that he could be one to watch. Ooh, this is the closest Keith has been thus far. He's going to do anything quick with it. At the very least, you just make Herman try to think about it a little bit. I know that's easier said than done for someone like Herman, but at the same time, if it is going to be more cautions, you almost do have to play into that and just decide, you know what, I'm just going to drive harder. I'm going to hope that another caution comes out. And if so, then I'll be in a much better position. If not, then you're in big trouble with the tire wear. So it's just a case of how you feel the race will go and what you feel is going to give yourself the best chance. I
All it
cannot
really
English.
comes down to. Just trying to set yourself up, trying to give yourself a good nest egg for the end of this race here, as Keith got real tight going through the center of the corner there in that 28. Like you said, don't count out Caleb just yet in this contest. He has been lurking in the shadows in that final step on the podium. And same thing with Ken Hansen. He gets around Stakenis there for 4th. Ooh, big bobble coming out of the corner there between Bumbalo and KJ. Steve Grant, he's also been knocking his way back inside the top 10.
Yeah, look at this.
In the most positions off the restart. Oh, boy. Oh, KJ, he's net coding.
That's not good. Oh, that is just barely clear of the 85, as 85 is also a little warpy there, but they all keep it straight for the time being. But oh, that's a Hornet's Nest. That's a Hornet's Nest. That's contact.
Oh boy, hang on to it.
Saves it.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson saying enough of this. I'm getting the heck out of here.
Oh, HB Hardy's in the midst of this.
Oh boy.
He doesn't hit him. Wow.
Yeah, when you got two cars net coding right together, that's just a recipe for disaster. Bumbalo just trying to sneak back down in front of these guys. He got Descenza right behind him. Praying to God that we don't show the camera on him so he doesn't get involved in his 3rd accident of the day. Bumbalo all over the back end of this 03 car, and both of these guys are all over the place right now.
Bumbalo going to try to take the position back for a top 10 on the inside lane. Looks like Power Off is going to go to the 03, and he will take that. Hold on to a top 10 position. Ryan Johnson up to 9th. KJ 8th. Steve Grant, a good recovery, up to 7th. And is getting away from that mess in his own right. As I think they've settled it down, at least for the time being. Oh, well, right as I say that, Bumbalo, tell you what, he's looking pretty racy. It's pretty good stuff there out of that 85. That Rockstar machine, he's always sneaky fast toward the tail end of the top 10 in a lot of these races. Yeah, there's Mark Descenza there, still lurking in 12th. But we're on lap 97 now. And we got a little bit of a run going, at least as it stands. Let's see if this run will continue. Checking back up front. Gap remains fairly stationary between Reese and Keith McLean. Actually, Keith dropped back just a little bit that lap. But going to gain it right back there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I feel like 3 and 4 has really been Keith's little bit of a weak spot there in that 28 car. Actually, no, 1 and 2 has been his weak spot. 3 and 4 has been his strong suit. You're going to see this good run off of the corner there for the 28. But as soon as he tries to fall in that 73 car's line, yeah, you see him get real loose out of the corner there. At the back end, sliding all the way out there, and he was able to save it. He's going to gain that ground back here through 3 and 4. It's just 1 and 2. It's just been everybody's Achilles heel so far this evening. But Herman Reese has been able to stay ramrod straight in that 73. And McLean just hoping that this run keeps going on and on as Reese goes up the racetrack a little bit. Here comes Mac Daddy. Just trying to wrangle that corner there off of turn 2. And this is going to be a real good battle here in this final 25 laps between these two Titans.
Titans, you got the nail on the head with that one. Reese, a 4-time winner this season. Keith, a 3-time winner, and is looking to try to get back to victory lane here. Oh man, yeah, he's lurking. He is looking pretty sporty. He's able to get it just that little bit lower, but Herman, just the unflappable man that he is. I would be shocked if we even see a mistake out of that 73. It's just going to be a matter of defense. Caleb Lingle dropping back a little bit, but still running an excellent third. He's been pretty much in the top 5 every single lap this race. Ken Hansen, an awesome run in 4th, and Jeff Stukanis in the top 5. Checking back a little bit further, see if anything else has changed. That does not appear so. Ryan Johnson actually slipped back just a little bit there, so the handle might be starting to go on that damaged number 78. I mean, we're getting down to the wire here. Got, what is this now? 22 to go. And Herman's actually looking like he's starting to pull that gap just a little bit more. I think that he's running just that little bit smoother. And I think at this point in the run, it's starting to pay dividends.
He has got 0.3 of a second on that 28 car last time by. We'll see what it'll be. Gained another about 0.05 of a second there on that 28 machine. So Reese dialing in that 73 car. I'm starting to wonder if it's a little bit of dirty air that we're seeing here at Iowa, much like we saw with the Real Life Cup Series. It's been kind of affecting Keith McLean because, again, on these runs, we saw McLean, beating up his stuff as a caution flag back out.
Oh.
Somebody's gone around, and it was Bumbleow there in the 85 off turn 2. Grab your 6-shooters, boys and girls.
This changes everything. Oh, mama. Let's see what happened with Bumbleow here. Oh, turn 2, bites another one. Steppin', see you later. Woo. It's there with Ryan Johnson. And another top 10 runner.
This is absolutely going to be the money stop here for these guys that come down the pit lane. Reese was really, really good there on that run. This is where the chess match is going to begin. Who takes 2 tires? Does anybody take no tires? Tries to roll for Snake Eyes.
I think that would be, I think you'd be bitten by the snake if you do something like that, but hey, if you're that far back in the pack, you might as well. Can't hurt. Not this point in the race. And these laps click off in a hurry. Although we did see the pace difference with Randy Smith on 15-lap older tires earlier. Looking like it's going to be 4 all around. Well, I stand corrected.
Stop. Ooh, here we go. Ron Simpson, a 2-tire stop there in that 25.
Gonna put him to P3. Oh, don't tell me Keith sped. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, he sped.
That is heartbreaking.
I can't believe that.
Oh,
no.
You gotta be. Oh, no.
Wow.
I think he was trying to goose it coming out of his stall, and right at the end there.
Just the Candace is back there too. Same thing.
Trying to see what was the speed run? What was the speed we're running? About 45 miles an hour down on pit lane.
Wanted to say it's 45. Yeah.
Yeah, he was right at the entrance of pit lane, sector 1. McLean sped up, and he was running 47 and a 45.
It bopped him.
Oh.
Wow.
We talked about how this was going to be the money stop and could not make a mistake on the pits, and that is unfortunately what happened there with McLean. Oh my goodness. And the same thing with Stukanis. He was also speeding.
I got nothing on that.
That is agonizing.
Man, how this has turned on its head. Mark DeSenza is out of the race for something. I wonder if he had the same fate. He just disconnected, and his luck is going to continue. Also out of the race were the 028 of Monty Keller, 07 of Steve Rubino. That's rough. And then earlier on, of course, the big accident for Jason San Diego has him out of this thing. Oh boy, did this race just get flipped on its head. We're at lap 109. It's going to be 16 laps to go when we take the stripe. Ron Simpson on 2 tires up in second. Does anyone have anything for Herman Reese now? I think Keith was the closest that could really do anything. Caleb is in third, but it just feels like he's been about a step behind that 73 and 28 all night long. But who knows? He might have the adjustment to try and make something happen. We'll find out.
Definitely will find out, but this is going to be one heck of a restart here. That's good. That's for sure.
Money restart here for Herman Reese, and he's going to get a good one out of it. 16 laps to go. Ron Simpson going to try to hold on to what he can here with 2 tires. Caleb's going to make easy work of him. Easily get up to second. Ooh, everyone's going to start to stack up here just a little bit. Ken Hansen's going to get underneath. Oh, Eric Codian's there. Steve Grant is there, almost 3 wide.
We were 3 wide there for a moment.
Woo. Man, this track does not like old tires. This is like Darlington. Oh!
Simpson falling back, bang, off the corner.
Oh, he warps into him!
No, Steve, no,
Warped into him.
Cautions breed cautions, and these cautions are in heat.
Oh, boy. Although, I'm not going to lie, I mean, they definitely got too close together there, but I'm going to mostly put that on the old warp on the 029. He disappeared just a moment before that happened. But man, we were just hyping up Steve Grant, getting back up there, and there it is. Steve definitely didn't give him a whole lot of room there, but hey, it's hard racing. What are you going to do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, those guys just banged right off of the corner there, off of turn 2, and yeah, that was unfortunately a net code. Nothing that Grant could really do except pray that the back end didn't smash in, but he took a horrifying hit driver's side. Nothing he could do.
Slam. Major slam.
And another setback. Like we said, now had that good recovery, but just right at the end, unfortunately. We're jinxing pretty much everybody except Herman Reese so far tonight. Now that I said that, now that we said that, he's probably gonna blow a transmission right on the restart. Hopefully he does not.
That's okay. I just knocked on my my wooden desk next to me here.
Yeah. Oh lordy.
See if Caleb Lingle has anything for him. I mean, now that he's gotten clear of Ron Simpson, who did end up bringing it back down pit road, see if Caleb does have anything. And Caleb is, of course, one of the more aggressive drivers here in the series. And he knows he's got a decent piece, so I'm sure he's going to do everything that he can. And how about this Ken Hansen? He's gotten himself up into a podium position. See if he can hold on to that. Harry Codian up into a wonderful 4th. Again, they just are going to be looking to hold on to those. But, oh, KJ's in 5th. Watch out.
Yeah, good recovery for Ryan Johnson as well, given that he's everything that he's been through this afternoon.
Very true.
Watch out for him. Maverick's up in here. HB Hardy.
What that for Maverick? As a matter of fact, I hate to bring this up, but the first caution of this entire race, who were the 2 that were involved?
Maverick and Ryan Johnson.
Yeah. Ain't that funny how that works? And they were up to 6th and 7th. HB Hardy 8th. Duke Sorensen, hello. In the
Yeah,
top 10.
we haven't mentioned his name all night long, and he's running 9th right now. Wiley
59
King
in a
up in
good
11th.
position.
Irv Johnson. We haven't mentioned Irv Johnson's name once during this broadcast. I think he's going to be fighting for a top 10 spot. Bumbleau in 13th, Rayleigh in 14th with a heck of a lot of damage. McLean and Stakhanis in 16th and 17th. I think after that we've mentioned pretty much everybody here on the grid.
You got
Oh boy.
10 laps here. Trey, I smell some craziness.
I smell the same thing as well. It smells like some burnt toast.
Everybody's on equal tires, so at least there's that. But
I'm expecting a bonsai move here from Caleb right on the restart.
I think he knows. I think he knows he has to do it. He's got to get the restart of his life. Gonna be able to pull it off. Late green. And he's stuck with him. Let's see what he can do. Ooh, outside. Maybe try and cross him over. Oh, he gets loose.
Oh boy.
Oh, they're
Overcorrected, and he's able to keep it straight.
Stacking up. But good job for all those drivers able to keep it straight so far. And Caleb really didn't lose much out of that. Still there. KJ underneath of Harry.
Caution flags back out. Big wreck. Johnston. Oh my goodness. Johnston nearly going upside down. Randy Smith. A lot of damage.
I think we're still racing back here as it is tight for third on back.
Oh, here we go for the race lead. Side by side. Oh,
Herman holds on.
Got it.
We will have another restart.
Oh my goodness.
This is not over. You said big trouble here. Oh, you ain't kidding. Let's see, where did this start?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's where it started. That was contact 8549. Boink. See you later. And
oh, nowhere to go for Randy Smith.
Committed to the outside and
fish in a barrel.
Yeah, unfortunately so. Wow, a big shot. Whoa, nearly did it again.
Oh, I think we're gonna get a restart with about 4 to go here.
Oh, if that. This is danger territory here. KJ got up to 4th. I think Caleb may have learned something there.
I don't know. KJ in this battle for the race lead, we've seen what he's been willing to do here in the past. He's been a little bit of a bull in a china shop with the warp and the driving style so far tonight. This is going to be a fun restart.
KJ, yeah, if he's able to make quick work of this 93, which I don't think is going to be that easy, but if he somehow does, oh my. And plus you saw the run that Caleb got over the line there, so it is definitely on this 113. He's got something in that car.
I think we're going to get this race restarted with 5 to go, and I think we're past the point of no return for yellows, so...
Yeah, I think next one will end it. We're at 6 to go at the moment. Lights are still on. I'm liking your 4 to go call. I think Caleb, what he was trying to do was kind of switch back and cross him over and turn just a bit too hard. Got him a little bit loose, but he definitely has something under that car. But Herman Reese, though, looking to get win number 5 on the season, which, again, I always mention this every race. I'll mention it again. Just how impressive it is that we've had 10 different winners this whole entire season, and the guys with the most wins so far are 4, with Herman Reese and KJ. So for us to take this long to get to a 5-time winner, if Herman is able to pull it off, would be incredible.
It was the parody that we've got here.
That is quite amazing. Well, it will be 4 laps. Next caution will end it. Like you said, KJ is going to be mad aggressive. You know, Ken Hansen's just looking to kind of hold on to what he's got. Shout out to Harry Kodian up here in 5th. Ryan Johnson's still 6th, and Maverick 7th. I'm sure those guys are just going to be happy to take those results and go home. Caleb Lingo, though, he wants to beat this Badillac.
I'll say it here and I'll say it now. If we get a green flag finish, I think it might be a miracle.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we do end up fishing under caution. See what we can do, what the 113 can do. Herman has been unflappable once he's taken this lead. He's just got to do it for 4 more laps. There's the green, and an excellent restart out of both guys. Caleb's going to try again. Sailing around the outside, trying to get the run. Cross him over. Oh! They both done so hard into the corner. Oh, he's there, though.
Oh, side by side. Can he get a ledge? No, he can't.
Nice run off there. KJ gonna get past, maybe. Still side by side for 3rd. Oh, he doesn't put him in the wall. He does. Door slam for 3rd. Caleb's gonna try a crossover. Contact almost.
Ken up the racetrack. He's into the wall. Keeps it straight.
2 to go. Caleb up into the wall. Still green. That may have been what Herman needed. It's going to be rough there for Ken Hansen. Going to slip back out of an amazing result. Trey, we made it to the white, though. And battle's on for 3rd. Look at Harry. Going to take that spot. How about them apples? Although, how about these apples? Herman Reese is going to become the first 5-time winner of the 2025 Cup season.
Heck of a race there for all of these guys.
Get the green.
So glad.
That's awesome.
I am so glad this race ended up staying green.
Did staying green.
Yep. I'm not an English major by any stretch of the imagination, that's for sure. But
neither you nor I. There's a good burn down here. There he goes. Oh, that's a wall.
Hey, no post-race tech inspection.
Nah. Just lets her go there on the wall. Took us this long to get a 5-time winner, Herman Reese. Not much of a surprise that it's going to be him that's going to be the first to do it. Awesome, awesome stuff. And green flag finish. Some hard racing there. Caleb gave it everything. But going to emerge just a bit short, about half a second. Separating 1st and 2nd there. But Caleb, another race of him just always being up there. And Herman, for that matter, never fell out of the top 3. So, yeah, no shocker that those 2 are going to get it done. Everybody else, though, I think had something happen to them at some point in this race, whether it was penalty, an accident, just something that got them set back. And some of them were able to recover. For others, it just happened way too late. But still, it's going to be an awesome result there for Herman and Caleb. And how about Harry Kodian with the 3rd place finish? Our in-race reporter and the main sponsor in this race in the next few. Able to get her done up into 3rd place and actually got past KJ to do it. Very impressive. KJ 4th, Ryan Johnson 5th. Maverick 6th incredible run out of that 23. HB Hardy will finish 7th. Ken Hansen still a respectable 8th. I know he was hoping for more there with how he was running. Still solid. Fugate recovers to 9th. And Duke Sorensen will emerge with a top 10 finish. Impressive stuff there out of Duke. Oh, man. That was awesome. That was good.
That was a great race here at Iowa. Props to everybody for having. It was a good blend of racing here tonight. Got some solid green flag runs. Got a couple of really nasty wrecks that we got to review. Some really, really great finish there right at the end, though. Stayed green, and everybody was able to get the job done. And Herman Reese, one of the most dominant cars, especially in the second half of this race, dominated the second half, and he was able to become victorious here this evening.
All it took was just a lucky emergence off of pit road, got him the lead. He never looked back. Keith McLean with the unfortunate speeding penalty. I believe that he recovered to 12th. And yep, that's where he finished. Jeff Skinny's 13th. So the no top 10, only top 5 trend continues. Steve Grant 17th. I know he was also hoping for a lot more. Man. And yeah, Mark DeCenza, another retirement. Just can't catch a break on that 33. Wow. Well, let's go ahead and get to talking to our top 3 finishers here, and we're going to start with a guy that we actually spoke to a couple times during the race here.
Was scared.
Was moved to your channel.
Had a bad time there, but Harry, we were talking to you throughout the race, and hey, we're going to get to talk to you once again, my man.
Yeah, unbelievable. I never would have put money on myself here.
You said pre-race you weren't fast. You were just hoping to keep it pointed in the right direction. And my man, you finished 3rd. And not only did you finish 3rd, you passed KJ on merit to do it.
Yeah, my car was fast for 10 laps, and then it just fell off the map. So all race, I just was really backing up the corners, trying to save tires. And like I said, the cautions just fell right as I needed them. So I knew I could drive it in a little deep. I did work on that in practice. Didn't think it would come down to it, but it was good at the end. And yeah, of course, Mac Daddy. His crew, his pit crew was killing him all night. I don't know what happened with him there. And then, of course, Ryan is probably another favorite for this race. So just got lucky and things played right for me.
Sometimes just how racing goes, and that's what you need. Still got to have the man behind the wheel to pull it off. I know you were mentioning, I'll ask you about the track conditions. Of course, you mentioned it getting a little bit loose after, for you, it was about that 10-lap window. Seemed like a lot of other guys were kind of falling into that. So it was like kind of one of those, the looser or the longer the run goes, the looser the car gets. That seemed about right.
Yeah, definitely. For me, tight in the cutting, down in the corner, right where the car's cutting, and then just a little snappy loose off. I really only had it on the front straightaway there, but I was able to, pedal a little bit and keep it there.
And did very nicely with that. I'll ask you this, and then I'll turn it over to Trey. I know that you also had to have been looking out of that windshield, seeing Ken and KJ racing hard, and knowing whatever was going to happen with Herman and Caleb there. What was the thought process going through your mind of just, what the heck is about to happen in front of me here?
Yeah, especially that last restart, I was going, okay, buckle up, because again, Ryan was there, and I'm not sure where Keith was. I knew he was behind me, and yeah, I thought it was all going to break out there for sure. Ken, that late in the race, I thought he kind of closed the door on me a little bit there, and I had to jam on the brakes pretty hard, and KJ got me there, but yeah, it turned out good.
It all turned out very well. Trey, if you do have any questions or anything for our 3rd place finisher?
Nope, none for me right now. Congratulations, Harry. Thanks for being our in-race reporter.
Yeah, thank you. No problem. And again, as always, look forward to watching the broadcast.
Yeah, there were points in the race, I will admit, I totally forgot that I even was doing that this race, and that's why it took me until much later in the race to actually remember to do it, so apologies for that. But
Yeah, no problem. I wanted to speak up a couple times, but I didn't know, I didn't know what conversation, and, I didn't want to interrupt or anything. So I just, waited.
That's all good, man. I appreciate it. I will, of course, let you have the floor here for any closing thoughts, shout outs, whatever you want, my man. Of course, the business, which is helping to support these next few races, and we appreciate you a ton for that. But have at it.
Yeah, of course, I want to thank the Minos, running such a great league here. Like I said, I've struggled pretty much the first half of the season, so it's really nice to come back together, having fun again, which is really why we do this. Obviously, I want to thank you guys. You do a great job here on the broadcast. And I guess I have to thank my wife for putting up with me on Mondays. We do a lot of practicing. Um, Herman is just a wizard with setups and stuff, and he helps me out quite a bit. So I appreciate Herman. And that's it. You guys all have a good night.
Thanks for saying here, my man. Congrats on the podium. Here's to hoping for a few more this season.
Thank you.
Cody and
User was moved out of
there
your
he goes.
channel.
That was the third place finisher in the number 13, running the M4S machine, which of course you saw the logo up there for tonight. Hoping to put some of these streams on, along with a bunch of other guys throughout the season, and we appreciate everybody who has contributed. We'll go ahead and get our second place finisher here tonight. TeamSpeak is really lagging.
User was moved to
There
your
we
channel.
go. Goodness gracious. I let go of the mouse button for like a solid 5 seconds there, and it still didn't work. But now we got Caleb Lingo up here now. Caleb, do you copy?
I do, Andrew.
Hey, great to have you up here once again, being able to talk to you. Runner-up. Man, yeah, you never seem to fall out of the top 5 there. Even if it seemed like at points you may have been like a step behind the 73 and the 28. There was never a moment that you seemed to put a foot wrong, aside from maybe one time, but you saved it and held on to it and kept that thing pointed in the right direction all in all. But what was it like driving out there at a track that tends to be, well, all in all, is actually pretty unique compared to everything else in the schedule?
Yeah, this track it eats some tires, so you can run it hard if you want to, but after 10 laps, you're gonna pay for all that hard running that you did. So it's a real balance. You're trying to run as hard as you can, so you got good tires later in the run. If you get a long run, you just never know. So some folks are taking it easy and getting past, and then a quick caution comes out, lose track positions, and others are just going for it. And so just it's a gamble on which way you want to drive it. You got options. Some will work good for you now, and others will work good for you later.
And even with the troubles that guys like Keith McLean found, and some others that were running up front, that unfortunately either through penalties or some incidents end up falling back there. I do have to ask you about that one scare that you had. Just going into the corner. I gotta ask you, how on earth did you save that? And just tell me what it's like trying to kind of recollect yourself after a moment like that.
Yeah, that one surprised me. I was swinging out wide to go into one, and I got a hold of the wall just a little bit, and it messed up the shifting of the weight, and I got loose, and I saw Seaver being on my outside, and I knew he had a good run going. Really didn't want to mess up his good run, so trying to stay off of him, and it was just I don't know what I did, honestly. Everything was happening so fast.
As tends to happen, especially at a track like Iowa, but if it still results in yet another excellent finish. And my final question, I'll turn it over to Trey. Man, you qualified third. What happened? That was a terrible qualifying effort on your part. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I was a little off what I had been practicing, but I still didn't have anything for Keith. He put down a pretty good lap.
Yeah, it was pretty solid, but I always any time that I get to talk to you, I always got to bring it up, Mr. 2.4 average starting position. Trey, do you have anything for a runner-up?
Yeah, I do. First off, congratulations on another runner-up finish there, Caleb. And really, on those final 2 restarts there, we were wondering if you had that dive bomb maneuver in the back chamber there, trying to get underneath the Herman Reese? Were you thinking about it, or what made you want to really go to the high lane as an alternative?
Well, I knew Herman was going to protect the bottom as much as could, and if I drove it in there hard, I knew I'd probably drift up a little bit, and last thing I want to do is race somebody hard and wreck them. So I didn't want to do that to Herman, so I was just kind of waiting on my opportunity. Maybe I can catch them protecting the bottom, and I could get on the outside and surprise them. Just trying different things, just trying to do something he doesn't expect. So maybe next time I'll try low side after he hears this interview. So we'll see.
Yeah, certainly a real good finish there right at the end. But how are you able to really not spin your tires there right on the restart? We saw that from a couple of guys here and there. You were able to stay right on the back end of the 73. What especially on those long runs, what were you able to really do on your restarts approach to not some tires and stay on the back end of that 73 right at the end?
Yeah, I had this thing set up to restart in first gear. Some folks were using first gear on pit stops to try to pass cars. I opted to do first gear on the restarts, and that way I could shift to second pretty quickly and try to control that wheel spin.
That's all I've got. All yours, Andrew.
And if it all worked out to just about perfection, those moves you're making on that final stint there were amazing. And props to you guys for keeping it clean. But another runner-up and another top 5 finish here for you. So awesome stuff, and glad to see the luck turn around. As mentioned many times over, it's continuing to look pretty good for that 113 team. So hopefully it continues into the next race at Fontana. But for right now, though, you know what to do, my man. You've done this a good few times now.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and thank my teammates and guys working with me to try and get the setups dialed in. I think we need to do a little bit more work on this one to keep up with Keith and Herman. They did a good job. Congratulations to Herman. Say hello to folks watching, family watching, and big thanks to my family for them letting me do this. And big shout out to Steve Rubino. He had a good run tonight. Hate to see his troubles there, and because he runs the league and he put on the funds for this, I believe. No, or maybe it was Keith. I can't remember. Either way, big shout out to y'all as well. I enjoy coming back and watching these.
Yeah, pleasure's all ours. Pleasure's all ours, especially when we got fast guys like you and Herman and all of them up front. So props to you, man, and best of luck at Fontana. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you once again.
Sounds good. See y'all there.
Best of luck.
User was moved out of your
Hey, it
channel.
didn't lag that time. But
Heck yeah.
Caitlin go with the runner up there. We will get Mr. 5-time.
User was moved to your channel.
And there is Mr. 5-time. It's Herman Race. Do you copy?
10-4, I got you. Wow. My heart's palpitating. A couple of scares there at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I mean, it seemed like once you got the lead, it was pretty much just you just had that thing on rails. But surely on those final 2 restarts, Caleb behind you, trying the outside, you had to pull out all the stops. It looked like. What was it like?
Oh yeah, I told him. I said, "Man, you got my attention. Where were you all race?" Had that not been the race back to the yellow, he was going to be the leader going into one. He had such a big run, and I was like, "Wow, he had been saving all race." So I knew if he pulled that move again, we even talked. And I said, when I saw him go to the top and load to get that big run, I waited on the gas. I didn't get back to the throttle, and that break of his momentum was the difference in the race. Otherwise, I lose the race right there. He almost had me on the restart on the outside there, So I thought I had decent restarts. I probably could have had a little better gear. All in all, it was a good race. Poor Keith. I told Keith he's got to get this pit crew off that Evan Williams. Those guys were terrible tonight. It was bad for him.
And then he sped no less.
Yeah, he was trying. With me getting off pit road better, that the guy, you got to try a little extra, get down in your box, and we're talking about tenths, because 2 other stops I almost got him, and he unfortunately, I told him when he was hounding me there in that one section, we were really laying down some laps. I said, I should let you go because your crappy pit crew is going to give it right back. And he started laughing, almost wrecked.
Man, hey, I'll definitely ask you this though, because of all the cars out there, it seemed like yours was the most well hooked up. There were plenty of points that it looked like guys were getting sideways. But Harry was also saying that yeah, you know a thing or two about how to tune for tracks like this, especially a more unique track like Iowa. Tell me what it was like trying to drive a track like this, especially on the longer runs as the tires start to go and that loosens up.
Well, I'd say my teammate Keith McLean. I had a good setup. I ran his setup tonight, and we worked several days. Keith and I. It's rare to find somebody that's as passionate about dialing it in. And we knew the threshold was about 15 laps, and we put in some time. About 3 days this week, different days and just hit on something to where we just weren't getting loose, and the speeds weren't falling. I mean, it was weird. It was the best of both worlds, and honestly, Keith definitely had the best car. Had he got out in front, and we had got about a 40 lap run, you'd have really seen a butt whooping, because the thing was it just didn't fall off like the others, and it doesn't get loose, and that's where they're losing to speed, getting loose off the corner. It's just a unique track. It looks like Richmond. It has some of the characteristics, but it drives more like Pikes Peak or something. It's just a very fun racetrack.
Oh yeah, Pikes Peak. I didn't even think of that one until you brought that up. That's a good point there. But yeah, awesome stuff. And yeah, you were able to take full advantage. And props to you for holding on those restarts. I don't know if I would have crumbled under the pressure probably. So well done. I'll turn over to Trey if he's got anything.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, Herman, congratulations on win number 5 of the season. So right at the beginning of this race, where it was just you and Keith right at the lead end of the pack there, we saw that Keith was incrementally increasing his lead over you every couple of laps by about a tenth and a half. Was that intentional, or are you just holding back there a little bit and letting Keith run some Q laps there, or were you trying to find something in the car that was trying to adjust on during throughout the race?
No, he said he was going to run some hot laps, and I was going to let him. There was no point. I knew I didn't think I had anything at that point. Matter of fact, that was probably my best shot, was let him go run hot laps. Maybe it goes long and he burns it up a little bit. And we had been, at that point, the run before we checked out to almost 2 seconds, and then that run we ended up just, it was Caleb could hang with us for about 15, and then he started getting loose and dropping back. So there was no point in running my stuff in the ground with him, and I knew he was I really believe he's still to the end. He had the better car. He even said to me he didn't think he could get by me. He could get right to me, and you got to be about 3/10 to 4/10 quicker really to pull off a good pass, or have your fellow driver make a mistake.
Yeah, definitely, and you're able to really pull it off here. But of course, right at the end, right at probably that second to last, or I think it was the third to last caution of the race, when McLean did unfortunately spin on the pit road, what was just the whiplash mindset there? How big of a mindset whiplash was it from being the dog that chases the mailman to now being the mailman that all the other dogs are chasing behind you?
Awesome analogy.
I thought the guys were whispering, "Ah, you got it now." And Keith's like, "Good win." I'm like, "Hang on a second. I've raced so many years with Caleb, and he has no quit. And when it comes to short run speed, he is really fast. He's one of the best qualifiers." And I was watching him like, this guy's running qualifying lap after, So I had to stay on my toes, and it was so important. I could have probably started in first gear, but I was in between gears, so I tried to not play the restart game, but get to an RPM that I felt was suitable. So I think I bumped up that last start to 49 mile an hour, which got me in a more favorable position for RPMs to not get run over. With the unique rules here, when we get inside 10 laps or better, you can pass anywhere and race back. And so that's when you're most vulnerable, especially the leader. That's when you're most vulnerable at all times at those restarts.
And final question here before I'll turn it back over to Andrew. First 1 to 5 wins this season. 1 win away from completing the touchdown. Liking your chances next week at Fontana?
Oh, absolutely. This should be the touchdown if I had not screwed up last week and slammed into KJ. I did everything right in that race. I was so mad about that, and I cleared myself there. And I should have it, but that's a good track for us next week. California, a lot of good runs there, but I mean, you see this league is so competitive now. You're one mistake from being out of a win, and there's some guys surging. Caleb's really fast there. KJ, that's what I was most happy about. I told KJ, at least you don't get another one in a row. Finally took the bounty out on him, but yeah, I think we got a good shot, and just padding the point lead now. We're just waiting for the chase.
Certainly are. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and congratulations on win number 5 this season.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's big, and like you said, with how competitive it is this season, there aren't too many leagues that if you put all those guys in a season this long, that you would have only that the winningest driver, goodness gracious, the winningest driver would only have 5 wins after 25 races. That's pretty awesome to see, and it has been so much fun to watch this entire season. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we've got a good crew here, and it's going. For my team, we've really worked hard this year. The 5 of us, and Keith and I in particular, and breaking in. I'm finally getting used to this Fanatec wheel, and for me, I've been in contention 90% of the races this year. At the end of the race, you look back, I lost on the last lap, Texas and Darlington, going for the win, and just so many of these close opportunities. It's frustrating, but at the same time, it's like the work is paying off, and it's been fun. This has been one of the more fun years. I wish you guys would key in every now and then. You hear us. We are under the cautions. It is a laugh fest, cutting it up. All the guys, for the most part, get along pretty good, and it's a lot of fun. It's like going to the clubhouse, or pulling into Cheers and getting looked like Keith's pit crew tonight was already at Cheers when we got there, though.
It had a couple rounds of Cheers. Look by the looks of it.
Few too many. But yeah, no. HOBO's you want you want a good fun place to run. Check these guys out for sure. Of course, the website link is in the description as always. But Herman, awesome job, my man. And
Thank you.
extending that point lead, getting that 5th win. Best of luck at Fontana. Before we let you go, though, you know what to do, my man. Whatever you want to close it up.
Thank you. I want to thank HOBO Racing, Steve and Dan Rubino. 20-something years of putting this league on, and it just what do we have, 24 guys tonight, I think, or something. It was
25.
Another good showing. Yeah, another good showing, and it's still open. There's still some room, but we had fun. Keith McLean, thank you for the setup, appreciate it, and for the qualifying setup, appreciate that, and the sponsor in the race tonight. Sorry it didn't work out, but I give you the shout out, and thank you guys for putting on a great show. I told you I go back. When I go into work tomorrow morning at the Viking race shop, they're going to ask me how to go. Just bring it up on video. So at lunchtime tomorrow, you guys will be front and center while we're chowing down. We'll be catching them, especially the races I win. I always make sure I show those.
You got it. But,
I had Matt DiBenedetto 2 weeks ago talked into trying to get his computer back on doing this because he hates iRacing. So he's like, "Yeah, bring me that disc. I want to get my computer going. I like to do that again."
Hey, Matt, if you ever see this, but
Absolutely, I think we'd love to have Matt DiBenedetto racing here in the HOBO Racing.
oh
League.
my gosh, if I call a race with Matt DiBenedetto, I might actually.
Well,
I might actually fanboy out a little bit.
Josh Berry used to race here long before he became Dale Jr.'s guy.
I remember you telling me about that, and I just know that if I ever told my dad that I would be calling a race that any of those guys would actually partake in, he would be losing his mind, and honestly, so would I. But you have to keep it professional.
I'm trying to think of a guy that raced with us and has done some of these on another network. He was actually the pit reporter with Dale Jr. at Wilkesboro this year. I'm trying to think of his name.
Oh,
Cool.
He came. He's a Coke driver now, but he's raced, and so this could be just like some of these guys that are going through iRacing. This is a stepping stone, for this. You never know. You might be replacing Steve Letard and who was the Australian guy,
Oh,
Diffie.
Lee
Diffie?
Diffie.
Lee Diffie, please. I'd rather listen to you guys on a Sunday than those cats. I gotta be honest.
That is a huge honor there. So
We won't knock
appreciate
Lee
that.
Diffie too much. I gotta give
Ah,
where credit's due.
oh, he's a goat. But hey, I appreciate the compliment, and hey, I appreciate what you guys are putting on, and uh, just all the good words. So best of luck to Fontana. We'll let you savor this win though, and of course we'll let you savor it, especially when you're at the shop tomorrow. You've definitely earned
Thanks.
it.
Yeah, thanks. This was a good one. And it's last thing Keith said to me before he logged out. And he's like, "Man, you earned it. You put the work in, and that's the thing. That's how we were ragging them other two guys for not and three guys for not being good qualifying. But when you put the work in, and it pays off, and it's just been a lot of fun getting to know these guys and a lot of these race guys in here. They're all I've known some of these Eddie Rayleigh for 20 plus years, and some of these guys, and it's like going, like I said, it's like going to your clubhouse on Tuesday nights and hanging out with the boys.
There's no better feeling. And hey, again, anyone watching, check out Hobo Racing League. Link to the website is in the description. It's a good place to play.
Yeah.
So
Don't worry if you're not good with fix or the open setups. We have a Monday night deal where Keith and I go in there. Caleb's in there. These guys work with everybody, comes in, help them out with setups and information, trying to get everybody better. Now, you asked Harry. I've been working with Harry last 2 or 3 weeks. Ricky Bumbalo, just trying to get them an idea. And once you get a couple good base setups, you can transfer them track to track and tune them in.
it's a good deal, man. But you have yourself a good one here. Me and Trey are
Thank you
going to
guys
wrap
so
it up.
much.
And, we'll talk to you hopefully next week.
That 10-4. I hope so. Good talking with you.
Yeah, you too, man.
User was moved out of your channel.
Trey, I'll turn it over to you here for any of your closing thoughts on what we got to see tonight and some of the action here from Iowa. I will admit, even though there was a good handful of cautions, I think that it honestly it separated itself very nicely. That was an awesome race.
Oh, it definitely did. We got, like we said during the initial rundown, really good blend of two different styles of racing that we typically see here on Hobo. You've, of course, got like the first 2/3 of this race, long swaths of green flag runs, pickpocketed here by cautions like we saw, like we heard from, like we heard during the post-race interviews. But then, the last 25 laps, that's when the intensity really started to ratchet up, especially on that last 10 lap stint where we had like 2 or 3 cautions. And of course, that late race 4 to go battle right at the end there, that was really the cherry on top. A lot of guys struggled. Saw a couple of guys having issues. I think, like we said, Herman, Caleb, KJ, handful of guys that really didn't round into a whole lot of trouble tonight. Of course, we did have a lot of guys that were up towards the top end of the points that had a lot of trouble as well. But overall, really good all-around race. And like we said, it's been really hard to beat that 73 car all season long. He has been out front, been one of the most consistent drivers. He's not over 200 points ahead of everybody in the point standings for no reason. And going to be fun to see what he does in Fontana next week. But overall, love to thank you for having me. And like Herman said, if we could get Matt DiBenedetto, Josh Berry, any of these guys in here, doesn't matter what level of racing, if we could get Brayton Laster from the ARCA series in here, that would be a whale of a ton of fun. But overall, again, it just shows how long the Hobo Racing League has been around. And we've got a lot of drivers that are in the modern day Cup series. They've had some roots here in Hobo. We'll have to see. We'll potentially bring back from retirement here over these next couple of weeks.
Oh my gosh, would that be incredible if they actually pulled that off? But yeah, the caliber of drivers both in this league and hey, those that have gone on to do bigger and better things. I mean, I have to mention it, but just before I wrap it up, I think even though it's offline, I know that doesn't entirely count, but the very first champion on Alex's or AG's channel was Roger Carruth.
I know.
Crazy as that to think about.
You go back 10 years, Carson Hocevar raced on Eric Eastep's Double E Cup series. That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
It's crazy how just all these things work out. 10 years ago, those guys are in school. Now, 10 years later, Eric is interviewing Carson after his whole shenanigans. Like you said, Raja Karuth, first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. The racing world is such a small world. You never know who you're going to run into and what corner of the internet you're peeking into. And hey, that's what we love about the sport. And now that's how you can use it at the dinner table. That's how I'm 6 degrees closer to Taylor Swift, is because I call a race league where one of her classmates in high school used to race in. So you can use that as a bar story. But overall, it's just how small this world is with NR, Hobo, NR, NASCAR, whatever it is. It's why we love this community. It's why we're all coming back here. I think Herman said it best. Tuesday nights, it's a clubhouse here with all these guys.
A freaking man. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. That's just the fact of the matter. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who tunes in for this. I appreciate Trey for joining me for this one. I appreciate Zach for all the help that he's provided, and I appreciate all these guys at Hobo for thinking so highly of me and what I'm doing. And I'll say it again: go support Trey's ventures with his ventures into online broadcasting with the North American Sim Racing Network. He definitely deserves some love. He's going way more hardcore into this than I am, so show him some love. He definitely deserves it. And
I appreciate that so much, man.
hey, it's just truth. And appreciate you jumping on board. Appreciate Blaine Donlon over at TarnationTV for how much he's given to me as well. And KTN, FRN, some of the OGs for this stuff. Or at least the current OGs, I guess you could say. Current OGs? That's kind of an oxymoron, but I don't want to keep blabbing on too long. I do got to get to bed. I got one heck of a day coming up tomorrow. Happy birthday to me. But hey, congrats to Herman on yet another victory. We'll see everybody at Fontana in a week's time, and we'll see everyone at Watkins Glen for Fast on Sunday night. Looking forward to calling that one, hopefully with our man Caleb Rose. But until then, though, everyone have a good evening. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being a part of this community. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.